Howdy, y'all. Welcome back to Marty Mars channel. Today we're taking a trip, all right? Across the pond, as they say, to a place called Italy. A land soaked in time, where every cobblestone whispers a story. You think you're just visiting a country, but maybe it's the country that's visiting you. This ain't just about sights, it's about what those sights stir up in the deep, quiet places. The ones we usually try to keep locked down. Italy, it has a way of picking those locks. So, grab your passports, yeah. Little books filled with stamps, proving you crossed some imaginary lines, but the real journey, that's an internal affair, ain't it? We're chasing something more than just pretty pictures here. We're looking for the echoes, the reverberations of history, the hum of humanity that thrums beneath the surface of the modern world. Italy's got that hum, louder than most places. It's a place where the past ain't dead. It ain't even past, really. It's breathing right alongside you in the air, in the light, in the taste of the wine. Let's get started then. Or maybe let's just surrender to the current. Let it pull us into the heart of this ancient place. A place built on empires, on art, on faith, on bloodshed. All of it swirled together, a complex pattern that's still unfolding. We're just stepping into one small part of that pattern, trying to make sense of the lines and the colors. Trying to see if the old stories still have something to tell us about who we are and where we might be headed. Or maybe just where we've been, over and over again. This ain't your typical travelogue, all sunshine and smiles. We'll see the beauty, sure. But we'll also listen for the whispers in the ruins, the unspoken truths that cling to the ancient stones. Italy's a mirror, in a way. It shows you the grandeur, the ambition, but also the decay, the impermanence of it all. It's a reminder that all things rise and fall, like the tide. And we're just here, for a little while, watching the water move. So, let's dive in, shall we? See what mysteries lie beneath the surface. Rome. First stop. The name itself feels heavy, don't it? Like an old stone worn smooth by centuries of hands, centuries of rain, and at its heart, the Colosseum. A broken crown, a testament to what man can build and what time can undo. You walk towards it, and the noise of the city fades, replaced by a deeper hum. The ghosts are thick here if you know how to listen. They cling to the arches, to the worn-out seats where the crowds once roared. Imagine the dust, the blood, the roar of 50,000 souls, all baying for spectacle, for distraction. Gladiators down there on the sand, fighting for a life that wasn't really theirs to begin with. Pawns in a game played by emperors and senators. A game as old as time itself. Power, control, the mob, it all played out here under the Italian sun. And what's changed, really? The arenas look different now, maybe. But the hunger for the show, for someone else's struggle to divert us from our own, that's still there, ain't it? You touch the stone, cool and ancient, feel the vibrations, the echoes of chariots, the clang of steel, the silence after the kill. It's a monument to human cruelty, sure, but also to human endurance, to the sheer stubborn will to build something that outlasts us. Something that tells a story long after the storytellers are gone. The scale of it, it tries to make you feel small. And maybe that's the point. To remind us that empires crumble, that even the greatest monuments eventually return to dust. A lesson in humility, etched in travertine. They say all roads lead to Rome. Maybe they do. Or maybe all roads just lead back to the same fundamental questions. Who are we? What are we doing here? What's the point of all this striving, all this building, if it all ends up like this? A magnificent ruin, beautiful in its decay. The Colosseum doesn't offer easy answers. It just stands there, a silent witness, watching the sun rise and set day after day, century after century, waiting. Venice, a city built on water, on sheer, stubborn will. These canals are the veins, the lifeblood of this place, reflecting the crumbling grandeur of palazzos. A gondola ride seems like a tourist trap. But then you're on the water, gliding slow. The city unfolds around you like a whispered secret. No cars, no rush, just the lapping of water. You see the city from a different angle. The green slime on the bricks, the barnacles clinging tight. That's the real Venice, always fighting the tide. A labyrinth of waterways leading to hidden courtyards. You can get lost here easily. And maybe that's the point, to lose yourself in the maze, to let go of the map and just drift. The reflections on the water, they shimmer and distort. It's like looking at a dream, half remembered. In Venice, the line gets awful blurry. It's a city that plays tricks on your eyes and on your mind, and the silence when you find it, away from the crowds. A silence punctuated by the call of a distant boatman, the flutter of unseen wings. It's a heavy silence, full of unspoken stories. The wealth, the power, the intrigue that once flowed through these canals like a golden river. Now it's mostly echoes, but potent echoes. You feel the press of centuries, the weight of all that history, all that water. It's a place to contemplate the impermanence of things, even things built with such arrogance and beauty. Florence? Yeah, you feel it when you arrive. It ain't just another dot on the map. There's a weight here, a density to the air. It's like the past ain't really past, just layered. You walk these streets, these narrow passages, and you're brushing shoulders with ghosts. Ghosts of artisans, bankers, poets, men who looked at a slab of rock and saw an angel trapped inside, or who stared into the abyss of human folly and tried to make some sense of it with ink and parchment. This city, it was a crucible where the old world burned away and something new, something luminous was forged. You can still feel the heat, if you pay attention. The Arno River cutting through the city like a slow, deliberate thought. It's seen it all, that water, reflecting the ambitions, the triumphs, the quiet despairs of centuries. The Ponte Vecchio, shops clinging to its sides like barnacles, a testament to commerce and survival. A bridge not just over water, but over time itself. You lean on the stone balustrades, watching the current, and you wonder about all the eyes that have looked upon this same scene. What they were searching for, what they found. It's a mirror, that river, showing you not just the city, but maybe a piece of yourself you didn't know was there, lost in the ripples. Milan, a city that moves to a different rhythm, faster, sharper. It wears its modernity like a tailored suit, always chasing the cutting edge. But beneath the gloss, there's history. The Sforza Castle, a fortress of ambition. Quiet courtyards where time slows down. A city of contrasts, ancient and avant-garde. Peel back the layers to find the deeper soul. Milan's heart beats with passion and history. Naples. This city, it's got a pulse you can feel in your teeth. Raw, chaotic, unapologetically alive. It ain't polished, ain't trying to be, it just is. And always, always there's Vesuvius. Looming. A silent, brooding presence on the horizon. A constant reminder of the thin crust we all walk on. The fire simmering just beneath the surface. It shapes the Neapolitan character, I think. That awareness of impermanence, of the potential for sudden, catastrophic change, makes people live a little louder, a little harder maybe. Live for the moment, because who knows what tomorrow brings from that mountain. And because of that mountain, you got Pompeii. Just a short ride away, but a world away in time. A city frozen in ash, a snapshot of Roman life interrupted mid-sentence. You walk those stone streets, worn smooth by chariot wheels and sandals, and the silence is deafening. You see the outlines of bodies caught in their final moments. Mundane activities turned into eternal tableaus of terror and resignation. It's not just ruins. It's a wound in time. A place where the veil between then and now feels incredibly thin. You can almost hear the echoes, the chatter, the daily grind before the sky fell. This ain't just a stretch of land, you see. The Amalfi Coast, it clings to the cliffs like a memory you can't shake, or maybe a dream just before waking. It's a place where the earth decided to show off, to carve something beautiful and terrifying all at once. You look at it, and it looks back, daring you to understand its wild heart. The raw beauty of it. It's a kind of truth, unvarnished, staring you down. It whispers of old gods, of sirens luring sailors to their doom. A beauty that's got teeth, you understand? It's a precipice, both literal and metaphorical, where the soul teeters on the edge of something vast. The road here, it's a ribbon of asphalt, unfurled with a kind of malicious grace, a serpent coiling through the rock. Every turn, a gamble, a prayer whispered under your breath. You're suspended between the azure ambition of the sky and the deep, indifferent blue of the Tyrrhenian Sea. The colors, they ain't just colors, they're moods, primal states of being. One minute it's all sun-drenched hope, the next a shadow falls, and you feel the ancient weight of the stone. It's a dance with gravity, a constant negotiation with the edge, and in that tension, there's a strange kind of peace, a focus that burns away the trivial. Sicily. Now this ain't just another island, pretty as a postcard. This place, it's a crucible, a crossroads where empires clashed and cultures bled into one another, leaving behind a tapestry woven with threads of gold and blood. It's a land of stark contrasts, of blinding light and profound shadow where beauty blooms amidst ancient scars. You feel the weight of centuries pressing down on you, the echoes of conquerors and conquered, their dreams and despairs soaked into the very soil. It's a place that's seen it all, felt it all, and wears its history not like a jewel, but like a complex, intricate tattoo. The culture here, it's a thing unto itself, a potent brew. You hear it in the cadence of the language, a dialect that carries the whispers of Greek, Arabic, Norman. You see it in the intensity of the people, in their eyes, a fierce pride mixed with a certain weary knowing. Their traditions, they run deep, like the roots of ancient olive trees, drawing sustenance from a past that refuses to stay buried. It's a place that gets under your skin, makes you question the smooth surfaces of the world you thought you knew. It's a land of passion, of vendetta, of profound faith and equally profound skepticism. Tuscany. The name itself, it paints a picture, doesn't it? It ain't just a region, it's a state of mind, a yearning for a certain kind of light, a certain kind of peace. The hills, they roll like the waves of a gentle green ocean, sculpted by centuries of human hands and the patient artistry of nature. The light here, it's different, softer, imbued with a golden hue, as if the sun itself lingers a little longer, reluctant to leave such beauty. It's a landscape that feels both ancient and eternally young, a place where every vista is a masterpiece, composed with an effortless grace. The countryside, it unfolds before you like a well-loved story. Those cypress trees, dark sentinels standing guard along winding roads, pointing towards the heavens, or maybe just marking the boundary between one perfect field and another. The patchwork of vineyards and olive groves, the ochre-colored farmhouses with their terracotta roofs, all nestled into the folds of the land. There's an order to it, a harmony, but it's not a sterile order. There's a wildness at its edges, a sense that nature is always there, just beneath the surface, powerful and untamed. Out there, where the mountains decided to just fall into the sea, you find these places. Cinque Terre, they call it. 5 lands. Like someone took a handful of old stubborn fishing villages and just scattered them along the Ligurian coast. Clinging on, you see. Not by much, mind you. Gravity's always pulling, always whispering its sweet nothings about surrender. But these towns, they ain't listened yet. They're carved into the rock, a testament to human grit, or maybe just a beautiful stubbornness against the inevitable erosion of time and tide. You feel the salt in the air, the ancient breath of the Mediterranean, and wonder how many souls have looked out from these cliffs, searching for something on that endless horizon. The colors, man. They hit you first, sun-baked pastels, stacked up like a child's forgotten blocks, daring the gray stone to swallow them whole. Ochre, terracotta, a faded rose, a defiant yellow, each building a brushstroke, leaning into its neighbor like they're sharing secrets whispered across centuries. You look at them, perched there on the precipice, and you gotta wonder about the hands that built them. Hands that knew the rock, knew the sea, knew the back-breaking labor of wresting a life from such an unforgiving canvas. It's a beauty born of struggle, a precarious defiance that catches the light just so, making you question what's real and what's just a dream painted on the edge of the world. Bologna. Rolls off the tongue, don't it? Gotta weight to it. A city of nicknames, each one peeling back another layer of its skin. La Dotta, the learned, La Grassa, the fat, La Rosa, the red. You feel it when you arrive, this density of history, like the air itself is thick with stories, with the dust of ages. It ain't a flashy place, not at first glance. It's got a sturdy, grounded feel, a sense of knowing what it is, and not needing to shout about it. A quiet confidence that comes from centuries of being a crossroads, a crucible of ideas and appetites, a place where the mind and the belly are equally revered. La Dota, the learned, home to the oldest university in the Western world. Think about that. A continuous stream of knowledge flowing through these streets for nearly 1,000 years. You can almost hear the echoes of scholars debating in hushed tones, the rustle of ancient manuscripts, the restless energy of young minds grappling with old truths. There's a gravity to that kind of legacy, a sense of intellectual pursuit woven into the very fabric of the city. It's in the arcades, in the quiet courtyards, in the solemn gaze of the statues. A reminder that civilization, at its best, is built on the relentless human hunger to understand, to question, to know. Verona. The name itself hangs heavy in the air, doesn't it? Weighted down by poetry, by the ghosts of doomed lovers. Shakespeare, he knew a thing or two about the human heart, about the way passion can curdle into tragedy. And he chose this place, Verona, as the stage for his most famous tale of woe. You walk these streets and you can't help but feel it, that lingering echo of a story that seeped into the very stones, a narrative that's become more real than reality for so many. It's a city forever linked with a fiction, a place where imagination has shaped perception for centuries. Romeo and Juliet, star-crossed, they called them, a story that's been told and retold in every language, on every stage. It taps into something primal, that fascination with love that burns too bright, too fast, destined to be extinguished by the cruel machinations of fate or family. People flock here searching for something, a connection to that passion, perhaps. A validation of their own romantic notions, or maybe just to stand in a place where such a powerful story was set, to breathe the air that supposedly filled the lungs of those tragic figures. The myth, it's a powerful current pulling people in. Pisa, you hear the name, you see the tower, leaning, like some old drunk propped up against the bar of eternity, refusing to call it a night. They say it started tilting before they even finished the third story, a flaw in the foundation, a misjudgment of the earth beneath. Or maybe, just maybe, it was meant to be, a cosmic joke etched in marble, a testament to the universe's indifference to our grand designs. We build our monuments to perfection, to permanence, but the ground shifts, time erodes, and all our straight lines eventually find their curve. It's a slow, inevitable surrender, this lean. That tower, it ain't just a building, it's a metaphor, ain't it? For every grand plan gone slightly askew, for every ambition that met an unforeseen obstacle. They kept building though, century after century, adding layers, trying to correct the uncorrectable. Stubbornness or faith? Hard to tell the difference sometimes. Each block of marble, a prayer whispered against the pull of the earth. It stands there, a monument not just to architecture but to human persistence, or perhaps our inability to admit when we're beat. A silent, centuries-long argument with gravity itself. Sardinia. An island adrift in the Mediterranean like a forgotten thought in the mind of God. Time here, it don't move in a straight line. It circles, it eddies like the currents that carve its shores. You feel it in the air, thick with the scent of wild herbs and the salt of ages. The traditions, they run deep here, like roots of an ancient tree clinging to the rocky soil, drawing sustenance from a past that refuses to be paved over. They're etched into the faces of the people, into the rhythm of their lives. The Nuragic civilization, shadows in the stone. Those conical towers, the Nuragi, they dot the landscape like ancient brooding sentinels. Thousands of them, silent witnesses to rituals and beliefs we can only guess at. What gods did they worship? What fears did they try to appease by piling stone upon stone, reaching for a sky that offered no easy answers? We dig, we speculate, we write our papers, but the truth remains elusive, buried under layers of time and silence. It's a humbling thing to stand before something so old, so enigmatic. Turin, a city that wears its history like a well-tailored, slightly somber suit. It ain't loud, it ain't flamboyant, It's got an understated elegance, a quiet dignity that speaks of power held and perhaps power lost. The Savoy kings, they left their mark here, in the grand palaces, the formal gardens, the sweeping arcades. You can almost hear the rustle of silk, the murmur of courtly intrigue, echoing down the centuries. A city built on ambition, on the dreams of dynasties. And then there's the shroud, that piece of linen, locked away, revered, debated, a faint image of a man said to be Christ himself. Faith and science, they collide over this relic, each trying to claim it, to explain it, to possess its truth. But truth, it's a slippery thing, especially when it's wrapped in centuries of belief, of hope, of human longing for something beyond the veil. What do you see when you look at it? A miracle? A forgery? Or just a reflection of our own desperate need for meaning? All right, so now we drift into Genoa, La Superba, they called her, the proud one. And you feel it, man, in the air, thick like the brine off the Ligurian Sea. This ain't just some port town, it's a story etched in stone and salt water, a testament to the relentless human itch to conquer, to trade, to build something that outlasts the flesh. You walk these narrow corruggi, these alleyways, and you can almost hear the ghosts of doges and merchants, their ambitions still clinging to the ancient walls, whispering of fortunes made and lost, of empires that rose from the waves and then, like all things, eventually receded back into the endless blue. It's a heavy place, heavy with history. This city, it wore a crown woven from sea foam and iron will. For centuries, Genoa was a maritime republic, a power that wrestled with Venice, with Pisa, with anyone foolish enough to challenge its dominion over the trade routes. Imagine the courage, or maybe the desperation, it took to push off from these shores into the unknown, chasing spices, silks, or just a different version of tomorrow. The whole damn Mediterranean was their backyard, their chessboard, and the pieces, well, they were ships and men, lives gambled on the turn of the tide and the whims of the wind. It's a stark reminder, ain't it? That progress power, it's all bought with a certain kind of currency, often paid in full by those whose names are forgotten. And then, man, you find yourself at Lake Como. It's a different kind of water here, not the wild, untamed ocean of Genoa, but something more contemplative. Glacial, they say, carved out by forces that make human history look like a blink. This lake, it's like a shard of fallen sky nestled amongst the Alps, reflecting the peaks and the clouds, and maybe, if you look hard enough, reflecting something back at you too. There's a stillness here, even with the ferries gliding across its surface. A deep, ancient calm that seeps into your bones. It's the kind of place that makes you consider the passage of time, not in years, but in epochs. The air itself feels different, cleaner, sharper. The views, well, they're the kind that poets try to capture and painters chase, but they always seem to slip through your fingers, too grand, too ethereal. Little towns cling to the shorelines, their stone houses like weathered jewels scattered at the foot of giants. Bellagio, Varenna, Menaggio, names that roll off the tongue like water over smooth stones. Each one with its own pace, its own secrets, its own particular way of watching the light change on the lake's surface. It's a landscape that demands a certain kind of quiet, a certain kind of attention. You don't just look at Lake Como, you absorb it. Well, folks, that's a wrap, ain't it? The road, it always runs out eventually. Our Italian adventure, it's settling now, like dust on an old map. We've walked some ancient stones, gazed upon wonders that'd make a man question his own small place. From the ghosts of Rome to the reflections in Como's eye, it's been a journey. A spin around one of the brighter, older parts of this flat circle we call a world. Time to pack up the memories, the tastes, the lingering scent of cypress and sea. Hope y'all enjoyed the tour. This little jaunt through the heart of what was, and what still is. Maybe you found a flicker in the dark, a new name to etch onto that travel bucket list, that ever-growing catalog of places where the soul might find a little something extra, a little resonance. These places, they ain't just dots on a map, see, they're echoes of ourselves, of what we've been, what we could be. They're out there waiting, holding stories that are older than our own fleeting anxieties, offering a different kind of perspective if you're willing to listen. Now, the trail, it forks here, as all trails do. But the story, well, that keeps unspooling. If you're inclined, don't forget to do that dance with the digital gods, like subscribe and hit that bell icon, that little Pavlovian chime. It's how we keep these lines open, how we keep sharing these dispatches from the road. Marty Marr, that's the handle. A whisper in the algorithm looking for more horizons to chase, more stories to unearth from the layers of time and human endeavor. It's a strange kind of connection, this, but it's what we got. So until the next time our paths cross somewhere out there in the static and the sunshine, keep your eyes open. Keep wondering, the world's a damn big place full of shadows and light, and there's always another story just around the bend, another mystery waiting to be unraveled, or at least pondered for a while. Take care of yourselves out there. See y'all next time when the road calls again, and we see where the currents or the algorithms decide to take us. Keep the faith or don't, just keep moving.